So now I want to talk about portable pumps. Portable pumps basically mean that they are smaller pumps that can be held in the hand, they can be worn around the neck or put in a pocket, but they still connect to tubing to your traditional flanges and bottles, but they are much smaller and battery operated, so you can walk around with them. There are so many of these pumps on the market. They come in different sizes and shapes, but again, they're all relatively small and compact. What you really need to know when looking at any brand or any new product on the market is the cycles, how fast it pumps, and the suction, how strong it sucks. We know how babies suck. We have research on that. Donna Getty's studied that really well. We know how they feed at the breast. So we really want our pump to mimic how a baby should feed. But the issue I have a lot of with these portable pumps is the stronger they suction, the longer the vacuum. And I'll show you what I mean by that on a couple of these pumps. Not all portable pumps are the same. Each manufacturer picks how fast the pump will cycle and how strong it sucks. Some of them have, again, independent for how fast it suctions versus how hard it suctions. And some of them, they're actually together. So when we have products like the Baby Buddha, now they redid their pump. This is the original Baby Buddha. They came out with a 2.0, which is better. When you turn this pump on, you can hear it. Okay, this is their stimulation mode. The higher the suction, the longer the vacuum stays on. Okay, so this has two modes on this pump. It has the quick stimulation, and then you can turn it over to the expression once milk is flowing. But again, the harder it suctions, the longer the pull. Can you hear how long that is? I don't know any human baby that sucks that long. I can't even do it as an adult. So when you're looking at pumps to compare it to how a baby feeds, doesn't feed like this. Most moms that I know that use this pump stay on the level 1, which does actually have the speed and the suction about how a baby would suck. So that's the Baby Buddha on that. I do not like this pump at all. This is the Motif Duo. It is quiet, but it's a similar concept. Very quiet on the low level, but the lighter the suction, the slower it pulls. So this would mimic like a brand new fresh baby. But once you turn the suction up, it goes a little bit longer. So this one has a couple different modes. Little bit better. I just don't see many people empty to this pump really well. The suction and the cycle speeds can be hit or miss. So I've had a couple people do okay in this pump. I just don't like this pump, but that's that one. This is the Idaho Jones. This one does have more options. Very quiet pump. You can't hardly hear this one. Similar concept though. The stronger the pull, the longer the vacuum. Okay, very quiet. This one you can actually hardly hear, even on a pretty high suction. Listen to how long that pull is though. If you have somebody that needs a stronger suction, you are at a sacrifice of having a much longer pull. So these are portable pumps. My preferred portables is the Pumpables Genie Advanced. It has the most setting variabilities of how hard and fast it sucks. The Baby Buddha 2.0 is a really decent portable, but you cannot have some sensitive nipples because it is a very strong pull. That pump company based their pump settings off of the market and not off of the research. They basically made a Lamborghini. They wanted a pump that would suck harder than any other pump on the market. They missed the mark on that, in my opinion, from a portable pump perspective. Now again, this is not one size fits all. In my opinion, most people do okay on the Pumpables Genie Advanced, and some people do okay on the Baby Buddha 2.0. Some people could do fine on some of these other portable pumps, but if a person is using these pumps and not noticing good output, they're feeling like milk is left behind, it's usually the pump. They do still connect to the traditional flanges, although these can be convertible to collection cups that sit in the bra. Most of these will have their own proprietary flanges that are connected. So this doesn't come off to use with a different flange. A lot of them have these silicone inserts. A lot of them you can put another insert into to get the diameter smaller. But if you have a parent that needs a different flange, like a Lactec or a Pump and Pal, you'd have to use the tubing to hack it to another system to make a more comfortable pump. The Motif does have the flange come off, so that is the only advantage that I really see of this, is that this would be compatible with a Lactec or a Pump and Pal. So those are portable pumps. And then the last category is the wearables. These are pumps that sit inside the bra. The motor is connected to the pump, and the milk collects right inside the container that's connected to the motor. You'll see lots of these on the market now. And again, the old school was Elvie and Willow. I don't recommend either of those pumps. If I had to recommend Willow versus Elvie, the Willow Go is really the only one that I recommend. I see way too much damage and user error on the Elvie and the Willow, mostly because they're hard plastic backs. The way that the breast approaches this tends to not be very kind to most breasts. The Elvie has a pretty short tunnel, so if you have any elastic nipple, it's going to get hit in there. And I do see, because you can't see the nipple moving, I've had a lot of people that will pump on these and end up with damaged nipples from using these. The Elvie is also a very strong mechanical type suction, so I have seen the most damage from people using Elvies, but people who have them and love them swear by them. So it's a really difficult conversation if somebody has spent $300 or $400 on a wearable and it doesn't work for them, when somebody else they know may have actually responded to it. There are a lot of new wearables that will come in these really fancy cases. They're gonna look nice and sleek. They're gonna have all kinds of accessories. A lot of these wearables are also now coming with their own flange inserts, because they're aware that people can't, it's not one size fits all. Now this particular wearable is an Australian wearable that's not available in the US, so I just use it for demo purposes. It has a silicone back to it, but this, when you're analyzing any pump, you're looking at what it looks like to anatomy. So this has very little curve and contour. It basically sucks the nipple right in, when you're comparing to something like the Willow that has a little bit more of a contour to it to cup the breast. This is the Motif Aura, which is the wearable of the Motif pumps. But look at that. This is, I hate this pump, honestly, this wearable. It has this weird flat rubbery kind of flange to it with no contour whatsoever. This one I see the least milk coming out of the wearables, and the flanges are kind of horrific when you look at it from a breast approach. But that's what you're looking at when you're analyzing wearable pumps. There's always going to be new pumps on the market. They're going to have different settings for cycle and suction, different noise decibel levels. This one is a little on the louder end. Again, they're going to have usually multiple modes with multiple strengths of suck. And again, I don't like the pumps that when they suck harder, they suck longer, because that's just not how babies feed. But that is how this one sucks. Here's that quick stimulation mode. And then it goes into an expression mode. Okay, so you are looking for a wearable that has lots of different options. Currently, a lot of these companies are coming out with multiple wearables all the time, new branding. My preferred brands as of this moment are the Momcozy and the Eufy. Eufy has an option that has heat and charges in the case. It is quieter and has a more natural contour to it. You can use flange inserts in it. The Mom Cozy M5 and S12 Pro do have better cycles. There's really subtle differences between how many ounces you can hold in the different pumps compared to themselves. So when you're looking at capacity, this pump obviously holds way more milk than this pump. So you're looking at capacity size. Mom Cozy also has a lot of really bad products out there. The Mobile Flow S9 is not a good wearable pump. It just does not have good settings. The speed and vacuum are not great on that to be able to move and maintain milk. So when a parent is like, what wearable should I get? We're again looking at the motor, how fast and how hard it can suck, the flange, how it contours to the breast, how it sits in the bra, and milk efficient output as well as comfort. So my conversation usually bends towards preferencing the Eufy, the Mom Cozy M5, the S12 Pro, possibly a Willow Go if they have access to that. I do steer away from the Elvie just because I see the most damage and least efficient milk removal with that system. And I definitely do not like wearables like the Motif or the Mom Cozy S9 that just don't have an overall good reputation. So that's my personal and professional opinions on portables versus wearable pumps, but it is not a one size fits all. And unfortunately, we can't be trying multiple ones of these because they are considered personal use. So it does become a bigger discussion of how are they using the pump? How often will they need it? Are they just using it to get in extra pumps? Are they just using it to do a little extra stashing on the go pumping? Or are they really needing that from an exclusive pumping perspective to whether we're going to recommend a portable that has a little bit more oomph to it, a little bigger, longer shelf life, or a wearable for some quick on the go milk removals?